Ever walk past a business and a beautifully crafted sign caught your eye? That's what we create at Eminent Signs Graphics Inc. Whether you're starting fresh or revamping your brand, our expert team designs, fabricates, and installs signs that truly embody your business's spirit. From channel letters to monument signs, we handle it all. Ready to stand out? Visit us today at 1888 Freeman Avenue in Signal Hill, California, and see the magic for yourself.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a Rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
A blind knight that uses echolocation, viewing the dark, treacherous world through sound. Trapped in a dungeon, endangered by combatants, where hazards lurk around every corner. Make sound to have vision, or don't and be stealthy. Avoid impaling threats throughout the dungeon to escape. Engage with other prisoners.
Rogue Knight I've been hearing about. Could you find the key and unlock myself?
Free them to fight back with more allies.
Let's take this guy.
The Dungeon Labyrinth has many paths and even more traps. Struggle through the darkness to find your freedom.
Presentation.
Well, it's been a nice week off, but we are back here tonight. It is the ASRL Sports Car Championship presented by Purple Haze Autosport. And we are here at Summit Point Raceway for only the second time in channel history. This very short 14-turn, under 2-mile long road course, very tight, very constricted, and it is going to provide us chaos and calamity here, as this track was purposely chosen by Matt Williamson in the season he knew he was not going to be here to reap the repercussions of said choice. So it'll be myself and James Watson who will get to take it all in here tonight from Summit Point Raceway for the ASRL Sports Car Championship presented by Purple Haze Autosport. Hope you had a nice week off and a long celebratory week at that after winning the silver feature at Sonoma. Yeah, but we're back to business as usual here tonight, watching from on high.
Yes, sir, and oh boy, business is gonna be booming tonight, baby. This, I think we've said it every race so far this season, but I think this might be the most fitting use for it until next week. This is gonna be the most chaotic race all season. Because you said it yourself, this track is very narrow. There's not a whole lot of passing opportunities, which means that you're either going to be stuck behind cars or you're going to do moves that may not be the best. So that feature race with the full invert, we might be watching the race of all time.
Yeah, I'm excited. I love this joint. It is going to be a very interesting one, though. We'll take a look at the point standings after last week. We now have a tie for second in the gold division between Josh Heggie and JJ Wang. JJ's first foot wrong, really, all season cost him a spot, and quite a few points up to Scott Kimbrough, who was able to overcome quite nicely a disastrous dash to recover for a feature victory. Damian Daney also picking up his first victory last week at Sears Point, as it were. He's down in fourth in the standings. Chris Hill has dropped from third down to fifth. Meanwhile, Matt Johnston picking up his second career ASRL Sports Car Championship victory last week. Still atop the point standings, and that margin has grown over Garcia, Saba, Wayans, and Brian Deese. You got to share the track with, all 10 of these drivers last week. What you make of running in the silver division, especially being around Johnston and Garcia in particular at the front of the fields?
Yeah, one thing that's very evident is the moniker to describe the silver division drivers and making it a bit of an AM class. Honestly, that doesn't do it a whole lot of justice, in the sense that a lot of the guys in the silver division are still unbelievably quick. Like, we've seen Matt Johnston have phenomenal runs. We've seen Andre Saba, Rene Garcia have phenomenal runs. So it's very evident that no matter what division you're in, the series is chock full of superstar talent.
Well, we've gotten myself and James Watson's thoughts on the Speedway here tonight, but why don't we get the usual Gunter's Guide in a backup car, as it were. It's time to take a ride with the Mullet Music Productions machine.
Today, we're here at Summit Point Raceway and the borrowed Mullet Music Productions Accurate NSX. There's a very short lap around this track, but for starters, we're going to head into the very hard braking zone of Turn 1, where most passes will be done today. We're followed by a very difficult exit as it's curved, where drivers will try and use as much track as possible getting back on the powerway. If they can get through that, it then leads into a very tight technical section of Turn 3. You have to watch out for the gravel and off tracks in the exit that follows. They can make it through that, and then we'll post it through Turn 4 before getting hard in the brakes in the Turn 5. This leads into a very slow technical section where drivers will be either in first or second gear depending on their driving style and preference. Using all the track they possibly can, all the curves, to get as much speed out of the car as possible. Before exiting the high speed turn of Turn 9 almost flat out as they go up the hill. A good point where drivers can grab off their opponents as they go underneath the bridge into the very high speed turn 10, trying to get as close to this gravel as possible without going off. And that's just one lap around here at Summit Point Raceway.
So that is Gunter's guide to Summit Point Raceway. And I misspoke earlier. It's not 14 turns. It's 10 turns. And it's not great when you got a 10-turn circuit. And about 8 of the corners can be highlighted as potential chaos zones or trouble spots in the lap. I mean, you can see it at the windshield of the Acura there in the Mullet Music Productions machine. It is very tight. There is some grass runoff, but there is no paved runoff anywhere on this track. You will find your way off the circuit at some point tonight, and more than likely you're going to be in trouble when you do.
Yeah, because you look at all of this grass and you think, oh, that's fine. You know, if I go off, I'll have a lot of green grass to kind of trample over to get back to the racing surface. No, that's not the case, because surrounding the Summit Point Motorsports Park is the Forest of Despair. You see those trees? Well, if you go off in the right area, you fall into the pit of despair and find yourself sitting back at your pit box with no recollection of what happened. So this is honestly a lot worse than having gravel runoff, because at least you have a hope of getting unbeached in the gravel, where if you fall through the Forest of Despair, yeah, you're towing and having to wait a minute or two before you can get back to the racing surface. So we might see
somebody on the iRacing subreddit pointed out that I think this is maybe the oldest non-legacied scan of any track that is remaining on iRacing. And with the removal of the legacy versions of Charlotte and Lime Rock impending in the next season, yeah, we won't get into that. But this is about to be one of the oldest scans, period, on iRacing. And as old as this scan is, of course, it is a pretty weathered scan to begin with. So it certainly is showing its age. As we're over 6 minutes, or about to be 6 minutes into qualifying here. Hello to everybody that's hanging out with us. Damien Dania out on track, turning an extra lap. Appreciate Damien stopping in throughout the course of the week to say hello. Hello to Bailey Marie, who's cheering on. Joshua Matichek, of course, and also his teammate, Damien Dania. Hello to Ivan Machado, who is also cheering on Damien. Hello to the Mullet Music Man himself, Joshua Rutherford, who is saying hello to his mom, and hello to Don in the chat as well. And the Majestic also cheering on Joshua. I'm assuming Rutherford, but also maybe Matichek, and also maybe Moore, who is new here tonight, and also maybe Josh Heggie as well. So lots of Joshuas. It's the same on Tuesday as it is on Wednesday. We've got OLC Insignia in the chat saying nobody else should have even showed up here tonight because this is Damien Dania's race to win. Him and Dave Seitz are the only two drivers on track. Seitz finally got a podium last week in the Dash and immediately followed up with a lap 1 retirement. Much has been the story of his season, unfortunately. And if he's looking for a calm, cool, collected race, tonight is not the night, and you alluded to it as well. Next week is not going to be the night either. As maybe Matt Williamson will feel some repercussions because he'll actually be here next Wednesday night. I'll be out of the booth, and he will be taking on the Green Hell from atop the broadcast booth, as it were. So if anybody has a problem with the track selection here tonight, be sure to fill up the Turn 200 fan mail box, and he'll be sure to read them out live next week. It should be a blast.
Yeah, send all hate mail to one Matt Williamson.
Now, I will say, I may have picked this track as well, but I didn't. It was Matt. but I'm saying I might have if given the choice. Definitely would be on my short list. I do love this track. I did a full next-gen race here with the ASRL when it was the Sunday Next Gen League, and was running really well until I wasn't. I may have ended up with my car parked in the Turn 10 grandstands. Those in the back of the shop.
Yeah, honestly, that's how most races here go. They go really well until they don't. I remember broadcasting the Indy Pro 2000 Strength of Field race here about 4 years ago. 4 years ago, and a field of some of the absolute fastest guys you will ever come across. And they managed to, coming into this corner right here, one of them got a little too antsy, sent it, hit the car, and this is battling for P2, mind you, so they make contact, and it killed like 3/4 of the field. Only 6 or 7 cars finished out of the 23 that were on track. It was one of the biggest accidents I have ever seen in my broadcasting career.
I know we have turned over scheduling rights for the most part to the Daredevil series to the drivers, but Matt and I still do get an individual pick each, and who's to say that I won't be the heel one day and put Summit Point on the schedule. I already put Knock Hill International Reverse. That was my pick for anybody that was curious about that, so you're welcome. Christopher Kresge probably is the only one that's happy about that. But we'll get into the starting grid here tonight for the ASRL Sports Car Championship. It is the 20-minute dash to kick things off. And it is Derek McManus who will be on the pole. It will be Scott Kimbrough starting to his outside. Derek in his first appearance for the ASRL Sports Car Championship tonight. Damian Daney and Brody Gunter, power duo there on run number 2. It is Christopher Hill and Avery Hart. Good qualifying run for driver 13, P6. Mike Pepper, Johnny Alford, 2 of the OGs on row number 4. Then it is Anthony Wayan, the top silver driver, who will start at 9th. J.J. Wang will be on his outside in 10th. Matt Schlosser, Andre Saba, another silver there in P12. It's Joshua Matichek and Nate Siefkert, the third silver starter in the 14th position. Terrell Williams, Mike Hamlin, Matt Johnston, your silver point leader down in 17th. Rob Henry, Joshua Muir, and Nick Batista round out your top 20 starters. We've got 32 that are going to take to the starting grid here for the dash race. It's the usual, and I think it might come into play here with it being the kind of track and kind of race that it is. 17X will get you a pass-through penalty. 22X is a disqualification. Go ahead.
It's really easy to get one on the exit of turn 3 here, so I imagine that will be pushing a lot of the drivers to the brink of that penalty.
95-degree track temperature. That is on the hot side of okay, I would say. These drivers are going to be begging for all the grip that they can get when they have to push it through these very tight apex turns at relatively high speeds, considering the tight confines we're going to be operating within. 10 seconds until the lights are up here at Summit Point Raceway. It is week number 4 of the ASRL Sports Car Championship presented by Purple Haze Autosport. The grid is up. The lights are on. And the green is waving. We're racing. The dash into turn number 1. And it will be McManus there on the inside with the lead. As, shuffling already. And big problems there into turn number 1. That is a huge
yeah.
That's Matt Johnston. Corey Rutherford is around. Lots of other drivers bouncing off one another.
Oh, we got more spinning again on the exit of turn 1.
There's Nick Batista, Joshua Muir as well, dropping positions. Pretty clean up at the front of this field. McManus the leading, Kimbrough, Dania, your top three. Brody Gunter hanging in the top five with J.J. Wang behind him. Top silver right now showing Anthony Wayand in P9 overall. And he's got Andre Saba right behind him. Saba may have got a piece of that one as well. Matt Schlosser also showing with an issue. He is dropped towards the middle of the pack down at 23rd.
Yeah, so far not seeing any damage on Saba's car, so he might have... Oh, looks like...
That's Brian Dees.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a challenge for the lead. This is Kimbrough looking to the inside of McManus into turn number 1. Trying to take the short way through, and it might work here into 2. He's got it. Nicely done. McManus looking to challenge back. Playing a little bumper tag there, Kimbrough, and that will be an incident point there. Giving the right side tires into the gravel. It's easy to do. That turn is at that apex of that turn is at a weird spot. Catches a lot of drivers out, especially if they're challenging for position. Here's a challenge for Joshua Madacek.
Oh,
Nick
netcode!
Batista. And Rob Henry, or rather, that's Batista getting through, and that was Nate Siefker, actually. That is
we got more
tagged.
spinning.
Rene Garcia with a problem. I promise we'll get to replays here in just a second. I mean, is that McManus off wide in turn number 10, so he will give up the second position now to Damian Dania, and Brody Gunter going to go through for third. Wild stuff here.
Yeah, this is pretty much exactly what we were expecting.
But still wild, as Madacek and Williams now side by side for 14th. Madacek will have to hug that curb there on the inside. We'll continue to watch the battling here as, that is McManus and Christopher Hill way off, and McManus, the pole sitter now, is going to fall to outside of the top 10 as Mike Hamlin will go through. First to 11th in 4 turns for McManus. Top silver right now, still Anthony Wayand. He's a couple car lengths clear on Andre Saba. He's still digging through to pinpoint where our first driver crashed into turn 1 in the first lap. It might very well have been Avery Hart, who is still running inside of the top 10. But we'll start there and see where we get.
Wow, that was a heck of a move by JJ right there. And just kind of couldn't quite tell if it was an aggressive move from Chris or he just turned into him. But yeah, this is a massive humanity right here.
So this is
big
all stacking up. And Johnson actually was touched the grass while he was braking, ripped the front end of that car off. Corey Rutherford then with a problem. There's Joshua Rutherford in the mix. And another incident just up the road, Matt Schlosser. And that is with Mike Pepper and Johnny Alford there as well. And Joshua Madacek taking Schlosser off the nose. I mean, stuff everywhere. We'll go back to the live action here for just a moment.
And I think something might have happened to Dave Seats.
Oh, man. Yeah, Dave Seats jumps to the pits. We'll jump ahead in the replay train here, and just ran it right sides off the road and jumped one of the berms there and ended up into the guardrail. So that one will take Seats out of the running. Schlosser is down pit road at 45% fuel capacity, so anybody that is coming down pit road here in the dash is either picked up an incident point penalty or they have damage and they need to get that fixed. How much dust, these new debris physics, very much coming into play through and after turn number 2. I mean, there is dirt and debris everywhere.
Yes, the iconic, lovely beaches of Check's Notes. West Virginia.
West Virginia. Mountain Mama. So still digging for some incidents here in the replay log, which is quite extensive, as you might imagine. I don't get why it keeps defaulting to this camera when I do not have it set to default to that camera. We'll back it up. It's also not selecting the driver that I am selecting it for, which doesn't make any sense. So here's turn number 4.
Ooh.
And so that was Siefker that was already off the road there. Garcia trying to make up time under braking and got tagged from underneath. So we'll go look for Nate Siefker, and this is already in progress. Battling side by side with Joshua Matacek. Oh, and Matacek just ran a little bit wide there in the apex.
Yeah, I think that was netcode. Let me see the far chase. Because when I saw it live, I saw, yeah, you could see there's space in between those cars. That is netcode. Oh, we got another car off the track right now. Johnny Alford.
We saw it in progress.
Oh,
there,
boy.
And it just looks like he lost it. Easy to do.
Yeah, they'll kind of expect, you wouldn't expect one of these things to just kind of snap. Uh-oh.
Joshua Rutherford, big problem. And I'll leave Matt Williamson's details in the chat somewhere.
Oh, someone went off again. I think it might have been McManus.
Yep. Running it wide out of turn number 2. So easy to do.
Ah, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, this is...
And this is the first real problem we've seen for Rene Garcia as well this season. He has done quite well.
Yeah, this is huge championship implications.
There we go.
For the silver division. Because Rene having a bad race so far, Matt Johnson having a bad race so far. Like, when we take the checker for the sprint race, I believe Anthony Whalen might be taking the silver division point lead here.
It'll be awfully close as he is currently leading, but he's got Andre Saba all over him here. Mike Hamlin not for position in division, but obviously for overall position. They run 7th, 8th, and 9th, and this is for the silver lead. But you're right. Unfortunately for Garcia, it's bad enough that he's having problems, but Johnson's still on the track running 16th overall, whereas Garcia's been stuck in the pits this whole time. So not only is he losing points to Anthony Wayand and Andre Saba, but he's also still losing points to Johnston as well. It's quite the hole to have to dig yourself out of. But we've got the invert coming up as well, as Garcia has just come back on track.
Yeah, and the clean air and track position is going to be way more of a godsend here than most of the schedule, especially since at the rate we're going, Whalen and Saba are going to be starting far towards the back. They're going to have a lot of ground to make up and a lot of disaster to dodge.
Mike Hamlin is through on Saba. So that's a little breathing room there for Wayans in the 81. To the tune of about 1.3 seconds or so. There's McManus also in the gold division in his first ASRL Sports Car Championship race at the halfway mark of the event. Scott Kimbrough leading 2 3/4 of a second back to Damian Dania. Brett Gunter still riding in third. A much-needed podium run for him currently underway. His problems now for Matt Johnston. He is tangled together, I believe, with Ryan Castleberry, as Castleberry has just towed back to the pits. Right here with your silver division leader.
No.
That was Castleberry off the track. Still trying to say, I mean, that
Wow!
was incredible. That was awesome.
That is unbelievable from Matt Johnston. And hitting the brakes at the right time to avoid the sliding Mustang. That is some stuff out of the Matrix. Good gracious.
Very impressive. That is why he is the points leader right now for the Silver Division. He has been surviving the chaos and driving heads up like that all season up to this point.
Yeah, that is some serious red pill stuff or blue pill. I don't know. I've never seen the Matrix.
I don't know. One of them does one, and the other one apparently does something different. I've also not seen it.
Andre Saba.
Oh, Saba. Off the track, trying to find his way on.
Oh, this is painful. Oh, this is like the sprint race of your dreams, though, if you're Wayland. Oh, he just got...
McManus.
Yeah.
So McManus finds his way through. That is Anthony Wayand in the catbird seat right now. If he can avoid tangling with Hamlin or McManus here. 7th overall, Silver Division leader. Right now, Silver runner-up belongs to Joshua Monachek all the way back in 13th. Nick Batista, then Saba 4th in class. They're together 13th, 14th, and 15th, but not very close together on the track.
Although, considering everything that's befallen the rest of the top 4, I'd be very nervous if I was Anthony Wayland.
Yes. Oh, I absolutely would. You are not out of danger until you are across the line on the final lap. JJ Wang and Christopher Hill close together here for 4th. As Wang has got about 2.5 seconds up the road to Brody Gunter to challenge for a podium position. Not sure that is going to happen without some interference here. But maybe if Gunter and Dania can get to battling, Gunter is right closing in on the rear attenuator here of driver 98. As Bailey calls him Netherlands. JJ. Oh, that was actually the driver in front of them. Whoever that lapper is was all 4 tires into the gravel.
Yeah, gut check moment here. But that's some great driving to give way to the lead that battle. It's exactly what you want to see from the lap car. Let me try to research who that is.
I think that's Ken Estep, if I'm not mistaken, and he is
correct.
Gracious as they come, that's for sure. Tightens up the battle a little bit between Wang and Hill as McManus now is trying to put some moves on Mike Hamlin. Bagman was just off the track, and problems for Joshua Muir. So he is around into turn number 5. But he is back on track in his debut tonight, also with ASRL Sports Car Championship. And it's a little wobbly there, under braking. Hamlin quick to tidy up the low line to fend off the challenge for that 8th position. Kimbrough still with a 5-second lead on Damian Dania. Dania now about 9/10 of a second ahead of Gunter, so he's got a little bit of space back. And weighing well clear of the next closest silver, currently Joshua Monachek in 13th, weighing in 7th. So we'll go back to Hamlin and McManus for now. And also Anthony Wayand. JJ Wang, here's Hill looking for a move into 1, but does not do it. Your reigning team champions not going for back-to-back here this season. So they know how to work with each other. As here is Hamlin through on Wayand and now McManus. Actually, Wayand not done fighting here.
He is not. Oh, this is going to be...
Yeah, thought better of it there. He's in a decent position here to pick up his first win with the ASRL Sports Car Championship. Why risk it if you don't have to? Hill did get through on JJ there as JJ had an off-track moment. Problems for Johnny Alford. He is around right in the middle of the track. One of the worst spots to be in. That is almost a blind look around that left-hander. So everybody did a good job to avoid the bagman there. As there's another one off track, Nick Batista right next to him. We'll take a look back quickly here at what took J.J. Wang out of this battle for fourth. Oh, wow. Huge oversteer there.
Wow. JJ did an amazing job to keep that out of the tire barrier.
Yeah, lucky to do as such. If it was anybody not JJ, they may have had they may have been making a trip back to the infirmary on that one. But JJ still hangs on to fifth. Chris Hill now up to fourth. Hamlin's still fighting off McManus, and Wayan now has fallen a second behind this duo. 3 minutes to go. These drivers still lapping at about the 1 minute 8 second up front. Rob Henry slow on the track, with Ken Estep working around him as well. Back to McManus and Hamlin.
Good run for McManus off the final corner.
He'll look for it into one.
Good move.
Take it. Yep. Been a rough first race with ASRL. It's a good couple of passes. Try and set the juju, the bad juju in the
Yeah, good recovery drive so far.
And 2 minutes left to go. Go back to J.J. Wang now, who's having to play defense on Avery Hart. Joshua Matichek now has a buffer back to Nick Batista. So Matichek still second in the silver division as they run. Batista in third, but with Johnny Alford between them. So that's the silver podium as they run. Kimbrough, Dania, Gunter. Damien in P2 has managed to pull away quite nicely from Brody Gunter. Showing an issue for Dan Miglin, but I think maybe that was just my draw distance going wacky for some reason. So Kimbrough coming through the final turn now, should see the white flag this time. As Brody Gunter went off the track there through turn number 9. One to go for Kimbrough. 5.7 seconds. Back to Damian Dania. The nice follow-up to his breakout Sonoma. This is Avery Hart looking for a move on J.J. Wang for 5th, not finding it into turn 1. For it again into turn number 2. Still lots of dust kicking up. Hopefully they clean that off in the warm-up. No guarantees though.
Yeah, I don't think it will, so it'll make next race very fascinating.
I think we need to put a brush truck as one of the cars you can race as, and only run it for the warm-up. Out of turn 10, here comes Scott Kimbrough to take the checkered flag. It's his 3rd win of the season with the ASRL Sports Car Championship presented by Purple Haze Autosport. He'll win the dash here at Summit Point. Damian Dania will finish in second. Brady Gunter will round out the podium. Christopher Hill, J.J. Wang maybe will be the top 5. Wang is going to hold off Avery Hart to the stripe. And that means that the silver division out of turn number 10 belongs to Anthony Wayan for the very first time in the ASRL Sports Car Championship. It's his first career victory. Well done for Wayans. It will be Joshua Monacek then through turn number 10 to take second in the division. And that will set up Nick Batista to round out the silver podium here tonight for the opening 20 minutes of the event. We will hopefully get a word in with teammates Scott Kimbrough and Anthony Wayand on the other side of the mid-roll break. Coverage of the ASRL Sports Car Championship presented by Purple Haze Autosport will continue around the turn here on turn 200.
Ever data starting fresh or revamping your brand, our expert team designs, fabricates, and installs signs that truly embody your business's spirit. From channel letters to monument signs, we handle it all. Ready to stand out? Visit us today at 1888 Freeman Avenue in Signal Hill, California, and see the magic for yourself.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a Rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
Turn 200's coverage of the ASRL Sports Car Championship presented by Purple Haze Autosport is presented by Purple Haze Autosport, Eminent Signs and Graphics, Team Watson Racing Setups, CJR Graphics, Mullet Music Productions, and the American Sim Racing League. Well, we're back to live coverage of the ASRL Sports Car Championship presented by Purple Haze Autosport. No sign of the teammates Anthony Wayand, your Silver Division winner, or Scott Kimbrough, your Gold Division winner. They are elsewhere in a private team Discord, which, you know, is helpful for them, I'm sure, to stay focused ahead of what was a very chaotic opening race that we just saw for 20 minutes. Now we get to turn that on its head. Coming up for this one, not only the full field invert coming up for everybody that just ran very well, but also now an extra 20 minutes tacked on to that. We already saw Kimbrough and everybody else in the Gold Division having to work through quite a bit of lap traffic. So things are not going to get any easier. Will they be more difficult even with a race twice as long, would you say?
Oh my lord, I'm sorry, I saw someone absolutely die in the Forest of Despair. I think it might have been Brody Gunter. That was absolutely violent.
Let's back up and see. Gunter was doing something. We got a little time to pal around. Oh! Yeah.
Oh no!
Yeah, that wasn't great.
I want to see the other angle of that car. Oh, wow. Oh no. That's a sport ender right there.
That's the great thing about this being one of the older scans.
Oh,
iRacing,
no.
they leave all the death traps in there for you, so that's always fun.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
Now, would we ever be able to race at Daredevil on the famed Summit Point Oval scan that has been one of the only scans that has truly been deleted and erased? Oh, Lord, it's not getting any better. Gunter. This is Gunter's guide to self-destruction and dismemberment here.
Self-immolation.
Yes. Yeah.
Anyways, what was the question you asked me, Tommy?
I don't even remember. It was the Summit Point Oval. R.I.P. Anyway, yeah.
R.I.P. Brody.
Is this race going to be more difficult coming up with 40 minutes instead of 20?
Absolutely. You saw the chaos and carnage unfolding with right there at the beginning where everyone qualified where they were at pace-wise. Now you have the whole field completely flipped, and those that were putting out a lot of the heaters are having to get by those who are still trying to get their footing down. And with a very, very narrow racetrack and very few passing opportunities at play, things are gonna get dicey. And we're gonna be in for a time, that is for sure. God help us all.
Definitely. Now we're just seeing who's actually trying to turn laps and who has decided to go on the self-destruction tour here.
The runoff there at turn 1 is great because you can take that little stretch of road and just completely fall into the pit of despair without even having to find a tree. One time I did it, and it launched my car back straight up completely into the sky.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a good thing I didn't have VR. Because then the pit of despair would have my stomach would have become the pit of despair.
Well, we got about 3 minutes left to go. So let's thank anybody that's still hanging out with us. Appreciate it. As Nate Seifker just crashed. Oh, apparently not. Keeps telling me that he was going off track and crashing, but... Oh, he is. He's falling through one of the pits of despair. There we go.
Oh, wow!
A big jump, and he's gone. He's no longer with us.
Oh, that Mustang had some hops. Look at that horsey go.
We do have some people trying to actually turn some laps here, but overrated.
Oh, they're so stupid.
So, yeah, appreciate anybody that's hanging out with us here tonight. And some things that are coming up, of course. Tomorrow night, it is the regular season championship for the Max v CNC Home Designs Truck Series. That will be from Michigan. Very fun race at Pocono last Thursday night. They rounded out with another big track that's big D-Oval 2-miler from the Irish Hills of Michigan tomorrow night, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time for that one. Friday... oh, never mind, it's not streamed. But, if you're in Illinois, come watch a sprint car race at Lincoln on Friday and Peoria on Saturday. I'll be at both of those. It'll be a good time. Monday night, it'll be the return of the Go Squadron from the Super Series after their Memorial Day break. They will be from Portland for the very first time on Turn 200. Very excited for that one. That should be a great time. 8:45 p.m. Eastern Time there. Tuesday night, the Venom Truck Series penultimate round of the chase for the Nathan Reynolds Cup will be on from Atlanta 22. That will be an absolutely chaotic mess of a night. Looking forward to that very much. 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time. And then that will lead us into the Matt Williamson return next Wednesday night from Nürburgring at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time for the ASRL Sports Car Championship presented by Purple Haze Autosport. Super, super fun week of racing coming up. Not the least of which is the 40 minutes that we got coming up here for the ASRL Sports Car Championship.
And I tell you, next week is going to be fun because the last time me and Matt Williamson broadcasted a race on Turn 200, it might go down as one of the greatest events Turn 200 has ever broadcasted.
Yeah, 2 photo finishes in the trucks in the right-turning Monza Oval, one of which is tied for the closest finish ever in channel history at 2 10,000ths of a second.
And so many dead trucks.
Absolutely. I found out later that you can cheat the setups a little bit. And I wish I would have known that before I gave them the setup that I gave them. But that's in the past. Hopefully we can right that wrong sometime in the future. It is time to go racing here tonight. 40 minutes on the way for the ASRL Sports Car Championship presented by Purple Haze Autosport. And the starting grid, if I can pull it up, there it is. Matt Schlosser leading the field of green with Dave Seats to his outside. That's a dangerous combo. At the front of this field, row 2, Ryan Castleberry and Corey Rutherford. Row 3, Rick Thompson, Joshua Rutherford, Rene Garcia, Alex Helen on row number 4. Tyler Smith, Kenny step around at the top 10. It's Nate Seeker and Joshua Muir on row 6. Brian Dace, Travis Fleming on the 7th row. Dan Miglin, Matt Johnston starting at P16. Mike Pepper, Andre Saba, Nick Batista, Johnny Alford, Bagman rounding out the top 20 starters. All the way through the invert here, it's Matacek and Williams on row number 11. Holy cow, where did I get mixed up here? Rob Henry, Anthony Wayan, then Mike Hamlin, Derek McManus, Avery Hart, J.J. Wang, Christopher Hill, Brady Gunter through the 30th position, and on the back row, it's Damian Daney on the inside, and Scott Kimbrough. A lot of work to do here to double up.
And one thing to keep in mind, after his wreck in the sprint, Dave Seats left the session, so he's not here.
Oh, that's a bummer. We're going racing.
Uh-oh, not a good start for Matt Johnson in the back, and that's going to cause a big stack up. No carnage yet, but man.
The key word here. Into turn 1, 3 wide for third.
3 wide. Oh, I don't like this.
No, I don't think anybody does.
Hold on to your butt
fairly
cheeks,
clean
everybody.
until you get back to McManus and Hart.
There it is. Oh, big damage for J.J. Wang.
Big time.
Might be some big damage for Chris Hill as well.
Yeah, JJ going off the track now, and he's stuffed it into the barriers. Yeah, that is big-time problems for him. Castleberry off the track, way wide there. And he's going to park it, and he's just going to head back to the pit. No problems, Joshua Matacek.
We're going to have a stack up. Oh, they're getting by. Oh, no, don't back up. Okay. Oh, you never like to see a car back up on track, but we made it. Oh, side by side, the very difficult side by side.
Kimbrough and Daniel wheel to wheel. Christopher Hill.
Yeah, our top 2. Chris looks like he got away cleanly. That car does, for as much contact as he got, that car looks almost pristine. Very lucky. Oh, I think we had another small incident in turn 1 again. But no one's around, but I think someone was nearly around.
I think JJ just jumped back to the pit, so it might have been him.
No, it looks someone got turned side.
Oh, there's
we got
Mike
a car
Pepper.
around.
Pepper into the barriers.
Yeah, tough race for Mike Pepper from both the sprint and now the feature.
Still a lot to get sorted out here, but it is Matt Schlosser leading the golds, leading overall. Nate Seifker leading the silvers, second overall. Howland second in the gold division right now. As there's Joshua Rutherford way off the track. He will bring it back on. Fairly low speed part of the course. Rutherford drops down to ninth. Rene Garcia, Tyler Smith right now rounding out the silver podium. With, I believe, Johnny Alford right now, the gold podium round outer in 11th. Running third in division. His first battle for position on track. Miglin trying to overtake for silver third, and he's got it. Fifth overall for Miglin. Alford and Muir mixing it up here. Andre Saba here as well. Saba trying to go on the attack. Tyler Smith. Around goes Saba.
More championship implications.
Certainly. Oh, and that is Avery Hart. Some body work coming off of the 13 there. Mike Hamlin just towed back to the pits as well. Anthony Way and Damon Dania. Dania with a ton of damage, and the right front tire isn't even touching the ground there. Big time problems for your runner-up there in the dash race.
How was he able to drive that thing?
I don't know. I mean, it's not even steering.
What in the world?
Who knows? We got quite a few things to look at now. We got through those first couple laps relatively unscathed until that. Let's start with the Saba contact here. That looked like a little bit unsteady under braking there for Johnny Alford in the contact with Saba.
Yeah, that was a bit optimistic. Uh-oh, we got another car around.
Oh. We'll go back live. I think Tyler Smith, Joshua Rutherford, Matt Johnston all in this mix. Is Rutherford going to drop backwards here?
Yeah, I think Rutherford Smith made contact. Joshua taking the road less traveled to stay out of the way.
We may have a challenge for the overall lead here, and it'll be Nate Siefker, the top silver, trying to overtake the top gold for the overall race lead. Siefker putting in a good clip here.
Yeah, this has been a bit of a rough season for Nate. He has not been able to catch any real good breaks this season. And we know that Nate Siefker can absolutely drive a car. And he's been fast this season. He has a win in the sprint at Coda. We know he's fast. He just has not been able to catch the brakes, getting taken out in a lot of instances that weren't his fault. Uh-oh, we got a big incident in turn one. Yeah, Johnson, I think Gunter was involved in it.
Got a piece of it as well. So, battle for the lead not happening right now, but we'll get ready to jump out of it if we need to. Back to the replay train. That was actually Mike Hamlin that made the contact with Saba. And he gets bolted into the nether. And that is how Hamlin towed back.
The Forest of Despair has a new victim.
Anthony Way and
yikes. That was nearly a race ender there.
Yes. So now we'll look at what happened to Damian Dania. And he's already got the damage
there.
So what has happened to Dania? Running by his teammate, Joshua Rutherford. Oh, that was Avery Hart.
He hit.
Hart coming back onto the track. Completely ripped the front end of that car off. Yikes.
Oh, got the 40 around in turn one as well.
And so now the issue with Gunter and Johnston, and they were stacking up in front of them. Johnston getting tagged, Gunter with nowhere to go.
Yeah, can we back that up a little bit?
We sure can. Not 100% sure who Johnston got into it with there.
I think it might have been the 40.
Oh, that would be Muir. And indeed it is. So, yeah.
Yeah.
A little chippy there.
Yeah, I think the 40 might have squeezed Johnston just a smidge. It wasn't a whole lot, but Johnson was already like right on the curb, and it's not a curb you want to go on, so they just kind of met in the middle and ended up with both cars around.
So that was Ryan Castleberry. He is towed back to the pit. Schlosser's still leading over Seifger, but these are the two division leaders running first and second. Rene Garcia right now has problems for Nick Batista, and Batista missing some body work. Rob Henry as well, just up the road. I don't think we're ever going to get caught up on the replay train here.
I don't.
It's not going to happen.
We watch one and a new replay pops up right after.
Man. Yeah. Got out, brake there, and turned in, and that is where Rob Henry went around as well. So Henry towing back to the pits. So Schlosser the leader right now, 6 wins in the ASRL Sports Car Championship and none this season. Was very much on the record as not being a fan of the GT3 when this was multi-class with GT4. Found a lot of his success there. Then switched back to GT3 last season when he didn't have a choice to. And still wound up winning a couple of races then. But in the lead right now, Rene Garcia, second in silver, third overall. Alex Allen, second in gold, fourth overall. And Brian Deese just made the pass for silver, bronze, fifth overall.
Oh, and then overcooked it a little bit and loses the spot.
And that is Dan Miglin taking it right back. And now Deese taking it back. And this is Johnny Alford. Who right now would be the gold bronze in seventh, I think. Yes. Just had a problem for Andre Saba. Looks like he is back up and running. Also showing an off track for Brody Gunter, but he's had a few of those already. He's running 9th overall. Behind Scott Kimbrough, who is in 8th. So he is, as cleanly as possible, picked his way through the field on the invert. We'll go back up the road to Miglin, now trying to fend off Johnny Alford. Problems again for Nick Batista. He is slow. It's around turn number 9. Was that technically turn 8? I don't know. Either way, he's slow. Get back up to speed. And Alford now through on Miglin for 6th. Jump back to Saba and Mike Pepper, who's letting it hang out there a little bit. Matt Johnston here as well. This is Saba and Johnston for position in class. Pepper in the gold division. Next one up the road from him, I believe, is Ekmanis in 12th. Kimber now through on Miglin to move up to 7th overall. Whew. That was that was an exhausting 12 minutes. We're not even doing anything.
Yeah, now we're able to take a bit of a breath. Ooh. Dee's overcooked it just a bit, and there goes Alfred right on by.
So Johnny into the top 5. He's gold runner-up. He's got 4.6, or he's gold third rather. He's got 4.7 seconds to catch up to Alex Howland for 2nd in the division. Seifger with a 7.5 second advantage back to Rene Garcia for the silver lead, but it is Matt Schlosser, the overall leader, as they run here. 12 minutes into the race. Finished on the podium last night with the Venom Truck Series at Watkins Glen. And Kimbrough now through on Brian Deese to take 6th. So Kimbrough running fourth in the golds right now. It's been a remarkable trip through the field for him already. So we're back to weigh-in, and Saba getting through on Mike Pepper. Johnson trying to do the same.
Oh.
He stepped way off the track there through turn 10. Christopher Hill just fighting to stay in the top 10 right now with 78. Derek Ignatis behind him. To your point about Nate Siefker earlier, I can't remember if I got to say this or not because we kept having problems, but Siefker's very much been one on and one off through the course of the season. If he finds success in the sprint, he will have some kind of catastrophic failure in the feature and vice versa. But more than capable, to your point. I was surprised that he was actually listed in the silver division. It just goes to show what you said earlier as well. The strength of the silver division cannot be overlooked. As Pepper is wide through turn 2. I mean, that part of the track, it's almost better to go through the gravel at this point because it is absolutely littered with gravel on the racing surface, and it's not going to get cleared out.
Yeah, because either way, you're driving through gravel, whether you're on the pavement or the actual pit.
Matichek and Fleming both going off the track on either side of the tarmac, but Matichek hanging on to that position. Christopher Hill coming to pit road.
Interesting strategy.
Oh! Overcooked his pit box there. Very small pit road and to reverse. Luckily just far enough to not get disqualified, but I mean, you saw him jam on the brakes there, so he's going to lose quite a bit of time. See where he will cycle out to. He was running in 10th when he came down pit road. Go back to Kimbrough, trying to make a pass on Johnny Alford to get back onto the gold podium. Anthony Wayan, I believe, just came down pit road as well, as Alford is into the gravel and nearly into the side of Kimbrough there, but keeps it out of him. And Kimbrough provisionally with the gold bronze. And only 2.5 seconds to catch up to Alex Howland.
Yeah, this has been one of the best drives we have seen all season long. At this track,
yes.
Yeah, to come back from dead last on the grid to where he's at right now, this is absolutely remarkable. Like, there is a legitimate chance that we might see a sweep here.
Which is wild. Very, very wild. But we also saw Kimbrough all on his own last week crash from the lead at Sonoma.
That we did. You have to know that that is probably weighing on his mind a lot as we see big move from Johnson onto his championship rival Andre Saba.
Just had an off track for Rene Garcia, and he has dropped a ton of time right onto the front bumper now of Alex Howland. Johnson just picked off another one, but it's Mike Pepper, so not an in-division pass, but still an overall pass, moves Johnson up to 13th. So thought Howland was going to go on the attack, but now he is having to play defense with Kimbrough looking for position and looking to get up to second in class, fourth overall.
Oh, there's the move from Kimbrough.
If it were anybody else, I would say that's a low percentage move, but
right.
Now, let me tell you this much. Howland is difficult to pass. Like he takes pride in his defensive ability, and it is good. So he's not going to make it easy here for Kimbrough. Kimbrough will have a good look here into turn number 1. The Mustang is only so wide and so beefy. It might make Kimbrough take the long way around. Smoke there. That was not out the window of Rene Garcia's car. That was from the tires.
Which, knowing Rene, that is an absolutely valid question to wonder.
Oh, there goes Howland off the track and nearly careening back into Kimbrough. But Kimbrough gets the spot. That was sketchy. So now it'll be Kimbrough to try and get through on Garcia. And Schlosser is only 13 and a half seconds up the road right now. I mean, that is not impossible for Kimbrough. Siefker wide in turn 10. Doesn't lose too much time. Kimbrough having a look around again. Dan Miglin is down pit road from the top 10 as Kimbrough is through to third. Nicely done. So Kimbrough third overall, second in the gold now after the pass on Alex Howland. Kicking up some gravel there. Go ahead.
I wonder if Nate might have had a slight issue because he looks like he lost a little bit of time.
He did. He went wide in turn number 10. I'm not sure if it was last lap or 2 laps ago. But that cost him quite a bit of time. Showing his last lap time to be almost 2 seconds slower than Schlosser and Kimbrough. Kimbrough last time by, even with the battling, 2/10 faster than what Schlosser, the leader, was doing. Here comes Brody Gunter down pit road. Gunter hunting for a top 5 to back up his podium. We have not seen him have 2 successful races in a row in the same night this season. It has not been going his way. Mentioned Schlosser finished third last night with the Venom Truck Series. Gunter got his 10th career Venom Truck Series victory last night at the Glen. So he's got some momentum coming off a podium in the dash. And, we'll try and hunt down a top 5 after the invert in the feature. Schlosser's still showing the way 12 and a half seconds clear of Kimbrough as they run, with Nate Siefker firmly in the middle of the pairing. Siefker leading the silvers and letting it hang out a little bit there. He's got some hot rears. Problems for Joshua Muir.
Oh, yeah,
That is
sure
not where
does.
you want to be parked. No guarantee you're safe there on the off track either. That is where everybody's ended up. Muir will drop all the way down to 18th. Come out ahead of Matt Johnston. Rene Garcia is in from second in the silvers, 4th overall. Alex Howland and Johnny Alford. Little contact there. Alford on a good pace here. Nicely done up to 4th.
Heck, a lot of inside curve from Howland right there.
Yeah, that was a little nerve-wracking. Mike Pepper catching Andre Saba with some pit stops happening. This is now a battle inside the top 10. Next time we come around there, I'm going to try and get a nose cam to just show everybody how dirty the track surface actually is. You can kind of see the reflections of it. There's a problem. Nate Siefker off on the inside of turn number 10, and Scott Kimbrough now is through to second. Seifker's still the division leader. He's still got 9 seconds back to Brian Deese as he's trying to get back up to speed here, but that was a huge time loss for Seifker. And now Schlosser off the road in turn number 2.
Everything is falling Scott Kimbrough's way right now. Oh, that's a big slide.
We saw the rear end coming out from underneath of him there.
I wonder if he caught the grass on braking. Yep.
That sure looks that way.
There it is.
Those tires were already hot anyway. That was a deadly combo. Great save though. Both ways.
You have to imagine that he might be coming in here pretty soon.
I definitely would want to be. We're across the halfway mark of the race. You're already going to be on a shorter stint in. It's a little bit less chaotic. You can breathe a little bit more. I would be pulling the trigger on that very, very soon. But Nate Seifker's driving, and I'm up here. And he's won 3 times. But you know what? We could still crew chief him. Hopefully he made it down to pit road speed. He was definitely cooking and booking there. Johnny Alford follows him in.
No black flags.
Cool. That's what we like to hear. Gap is now under 11 seconds for Scott Kimbrough. Oh, and don't tell me the particles don't show up on the nose cam. That is a bunch of bull hockey.
Right, that would have been an epic viewpoint.
Oh well. So hard to tell where anybody's actually running in the middle of the green flag pit cycle here. We can tell you how they're running right now. Schlosser, Kimbrough, and Howland now the top 3 golds, all in the top 3 positions. Brian Deese, Joshua Matichek, and Andre Saba right now, 4th, 5th, and 7th, are on the silver podium. Expecting Nate Seifker to cycle out to the lead, but he is only 2 seconds ahead of Rene Garcia. So there's a couple of bobbles from Seifker really eaten into his advantage back to the rest of the silvers. He'll have to be on his horse from here on out.
Yeah, that half spin was detrimental. It was like a 8-second lead he had before that.
And looking at the drivers at a pit already from the golds, Johnny Alford is well ahead of all of them from the looks of it. Alford is, I think, 15 seconds clear of Brody Gunter, who has been down pit road already. Dave Dania had to pit early, so he should have to pit again. So we saw him go into turn number 2. Gap from Schlosser back to Kimbrough now, only 9 seconds. Kimbrough slowly but steadily working to catch Matt Schlosser. Joshua Matichek is in at a very awkward angle. That should be good enough, though, to get service.
Definitely all one of your average stops, but we ball.
Well, he didn't pull a Schwartzman and hit his whole crew, so we're doing all right.
Ouch.
Yeah. That's what the tire man said.
Oh, man. Oh, that is mean. Yeah. That might be the... Is that what the
congrats to our Rookie of the Year, Robert Schwartzman.
I think that's what the kids today call savage,
yeah,
but
maybe.
As we have a race leader down pit road.
Yes, indeed. Schlosser. Hopefully he's not too far to the right unless he's not changing tires. To be fair, I don't see the jacks coming up on that car. So it might just be a gas and go for the leader who is looking for any sort of time advantage he can get. As Scott Kimbrough will take the point with a pit stop yet to make. Alex Howland also coming in. So Schlosser back on the road. Got about 8 seconds back to, or rather 7 seconds back to Nate Seifgard before the pit cycle. Now it is 13 seconds. So if anything, he made time on Seifgard. I think Schlosser is in for a top 2 here if he can keep this car out of trouble. It's just a question of whether he's coming away with a win or with the second.
Yeah, if he doesn't make any mistakes, it's going to be close. It's going to be a grandstand finish at least, because time is starting to tick away here.
Kimbrough making his pit stop with 12 minutes to go, 1 lap after Schlosser. Brian Deese is also in, so I'd imagine some empty tanks here. Here's Schlosser out of turn 10. And there is Kimbrough. I'll tell you what, Kimbrough gets down to turn number 1, what the damage is going to be. It's about 9 seconds before the pit cycle, and it is only 4.5.
Wow.
Kimbrough out in some traffic here that he'll have to get through, but I mean, he have the gap up to Schlosser. And that is a lot with that cushion gone with still plenty of time on the clock. So maybe my sim deceived me and Schlosser did in fact take tires. Otherwise, I don't know how you make up almost 5 seconds on the pit cycle.
Yeah, I don't either. And now, if he kept at least 7 or 8 seconds, I'd give Schlosser the edge.
Yeah.
But only 4 seconds. That's gonna. That's not
Corey
gonna help
Rutherford.
Scott Kimbrough.
Well, at least he didn't come back on. A little dot up there is Matt Schlosser. He is in sight. So Seifgard now with 4.5 seconds back to Rene Garcia with a Johnny Alford in between them. So Seifgard back firmly in control of the silver lead for now. Garcia with a nice recovery after a disastrous dash race to open things up. Right now, silver, bronze, which is very funny to say over and over again. Brian Deese back in 9th overall. Johnny Alford right now with the bronze for the gold division, 4th overall with Seifgard ahead of him, but he is catching Seifgard pretty quickly as well. I will say, the last couple of laps, Schlosser has held on to the advantage. It was 4.4 seconds when Kimbrough got up to speed, and now it is 4 seconds. With another minute 45 off the clock.
Yeah, and we're down to under 10 minutes to go.
So there is the scheduled pit stop for Damian Dania. As Derek McManus is going to get through on Rene Garcia for 5th. That does not change Garcia's standings in the silver division, still runner-up to Seifgard as they are.
Good recovery drive for Matt Johnson, just knocking on the door of the top 10 now.
Whoa, that is JJ Wang nearly in the ramp dimension. Well, I said Kimbrough was not eating into this gap very much. He's picked up half a second on this lap. It's 3.5 seconds. Oh, Brady Gunter with a problem. Gunter around at turn number 5. And that will shuffle him outside of the top 10 now to 15th. So that is, I think, 8 or 9 spots lost there for Gunter, and we will take a look at this one.
Yeah.
Running with Joshua Monacek. And Gunter just into the grass. Oh, it's Matt Johnston.
Yeah.
From
Matt,
way downtown.
Yeah, Matt just kind of came from oblivion and boo.
Maybe lost sight of his braking marker there with cars on both sides of the track.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too, because it's not obviously it's not a mistake where that's customary for Matt Johnston.
No, certainly not.
That puts a big wrench in the recovery drive there that I was just highlighting a bit ago.
So Johnston is in 11th. Monachek getting away nicely in 9th. Did well to avoid all of that. It's under 3 seconds now. 2.7 on a bull named Fu Manchu here at Summit Point.
And it's been a rough race for Anthony Wayland. He is down in 21st position right now.
Yes, it's rough for him. It's rough for Alex Allen as well. He must have picked up some kind of penalty or had a difficulty on his outlap. I've completely missed what happened, but he's down at 20th. He was in for a top 5 here. So, big problems for Howland. He's just up the road from the leaders here. Still lots of traffic to get through. Schlosser, I'm hoping, or I would imagine, is hoping to get through here very quickly. To make Kimbrough really have to work in and out of the cars here. It's Kimbrough now down to 2.5 with 6 to go.
And a whole heap of lap traffic on the horizon, including Anthony Wayland.
Anthony, I'm sure, not going to be making life easy as he hopes his teammate Kimbrough will rally into the fight. Not that I don't think Anthony really has to thumb the scales all that much for Kimbrough to be catching up here. But I mentioned it last night on the broadcast for the Venom Truck Series. Schlosser, not known as a driver to get his elbows out, but more and more in this calendar year, and especially in the Venom Truck Series this season, he has been getting his elbows out more. But, he started racking up a lot of wins in the trucks. And, we'll see how sharp his elbows are here with Scott Kimbrough now inside of 2 seconds behind him.
Yeah, and you've got a race win in your graphs, so it depends on what Matt thinks he has to do. He's got as much breathing room as he's going to have right now, so we'll see what he does. Not quite close enough to make a move. And able to get by Howland, though, who lets Wayland and Schlosser go by. That's key.
Schlosser just riding in that wake. Howland will pick it up, see what it does for Kimbrough to get through. And now Wayland will
There's a send.
look to give way here on Schlosser, and he will.
Yep, good deal. Now that's 2 cars in between him and Kimbrough.
4 minutes to go, and 1.5 seconds back to Kimbrough with 2 more cars to pass. Make that one more now, and one of those is his teammate.
And while we're watching this, the battle for the last step on the overall podium is really starting to heat up. Got Alfred and Derek right behind Siefer.
Yeah, Alfred with outstanding pace here. Siefer, the silver leader. 3rd overall, would love to take the overall podium, but I mean, Alfred has just been on it tonight, no doubt about it. Race lead is down to 1.25 seconds. Kimbrough inching his way closer and closer as Alfred is looking to make this move for 3rd.
And normally you'd expect, it's like, oh, it's the silver leader, all right, you just go on. I want to focus on bringing home my win in class. This is Nate Siefer we're talking about. I don't think Nate really cares about the silver division. Nate only thinks of overall. So I don't think he wants to give up this spot.
Yeah, Siefker with 2 top-class / overall victories in the ASRL Sports Car Championship, same as Johnny Alford. Siefker also with a win in the silver division this season, so 3 victories to his credit here in the series. He is not one to roll over, nor should he. 1.1 seconds right now for Kimbrough tracking down Schlosser, as Alford is flashing the headlights on Siefker headed into turn number 1. Siefker trying to put the squeeze on him, but he's going to go wide, and there goes
he
Alford.
overshot.
So that is done and dusted for now. Siefker's still in a good position, well clear of Rene Garcia, and he came right back on Alford there.
He sure did.
Taking a dive there. Whoa!
Oh, there's contact.
Oh, boy. That one's not going to go over well. Nick Batista off the track as well. We will take a look at that right after the end of this race, but we're going to go back up to the front now. Inside of a second, Kimbrough tracking down Schlosser. 2 laps to go at the stripe. This is a lapper between.
Oh, and Rutherford doesn't let him by. That is rough for Schlosser.
I think that was Miller letting Kimbrough through, but Schlosser caught behind Joshua Rutherford.
Yeah, and he's going to be
Kimbrough through the gravel, though.
Here comes Schlosser making the move.
Oh, and Kimbrough threads it right to the inside of Rutherford. We're talking car lengths now, with 1 lap to go at the stripe. So a lap and a half for Kimbrough to catch up the rest of the way and to make this move for the win, starting dead last in this field at the shortest, tightest race all season. It's been a brilliant drive, and it is a brilliant drive no matter the result, but Kimbrough did not come to finish second.
This
1 to
great
go.
corner from Kimbrough. He's got the run.
Schlosser going to make him work for it, taking the long way around into turn number 1, and he will do just that. Kimbrough for the lead. Schlosser going wide. Contact. Ooh. Kimbrough has the preferred positioning here into turn number 2.
Oh,
Still
man, this is going to be the gut check moment of the ages.
Around.
No, he goes around. Oh, he saves it.
Schlosser's
oh, my goodness.
Wide.
Wow!
I would imagine will be none too pleased, but Schlosser's led every lap thus far, and he did not come here to finish second, much like Kimbrough.
Wow.
Lappers now concertinaing into turn number 5.
Yeah, and there's no way for them to give way this time.
They call him the silent assassin, and that is maybe as loud as he has ever been. Flag to flag, but not without some controversy and some door checks. Matt Schlosser back to victory lane in the ASRL Sports Car Championship. Kimbrough from last to second. And Nate Siefker will take the silver win. 2 controversies. Both checkered flags. Schlosser and Siefker, your winners here tonight. Derek McManus will round out the gold and overall podium as Siefker finishes in 4th. Rene Garcia and Joshua Matacek will be your podium finishers for the silver division, as they will finish 6th and 9th respectively. Garcia ahead of Matacek. Whoa, boy.
All right, we got to go back.
We're going back, don't worry.
Well, we got to look at the moment of the race right here. That was absolutely unbelievable. I told you it was going to be a gut check moment for Schlosser on the outside. He gutted up and he kept it around. That is, yeah, first we got this.
Yes, we do. And we'll take a look at it from the far chase. So this is what sets it up. Alford is through, but he gets into the grass, gets the rear end out from underneath of him. Siefker comes fighting back. Contact. Oh, boy.
Oh,
I know Siefker was trying to cut it close there, but almost hooked him there. Siefker sending it in deep here. Oh, and I don't know if they did make contact.
Yeah, I
think,
know.
well, they may have made contact, but I think it was already, he looked really unsteady there under braking.
Like, I wonder, I
mean,
think
he's
it might
already
have been,
got that snap there before Siefker's even to the inside.
I think at most there might have been some, maybe net code, because, like, there's space, but with the way Alfred's car wiggles, like, I don't know.
Man, what an absolute thriller here at Summit Point in the feature. Both divisions putting on a show here late. This is the final lap from the chopper cam. Kimbrough giving chase. What a move around the outside of Schlosser. And there's no doubt these two are making contact. You know, a little nip and tuck between Siefker and Alford, but it's not in question here. Door check after door check. And that is what's going to get Schlosser home.
Yeah. Looking at it, I can't say anything. I don't know if I can say anything other than a racing deal. I mean, you see Schlosser kind of turn in a little early than what you'd expect, but this corner is really difficult because you always feel like you're never turning in at the right point. Like, you always feel like you're turning in a little too late or a little too early, especially when you're Schlosser and you know you're going to be on the outside. So, turns in just a little bit early, and it kind of gets Kimbrough's car a little bit upset. And you see at the center off, there's enough room for both cars, but that little bit of contact entering it kind of sealed Kimbrough's fate there. Yeah, you see it just, that little bit of, it was just the perfect storm, just hit the front and kind of caused a bit of a pendulum effect and caused the rear to kick out. And can we just say what an unbelievable save from Scott Kimbrough?
Oh, for sure.
Like, I thought it was dead, done, all she wrote, and he saved it. He was full sideways in that corner, and he saved it, especially with all that gravel, you know, definitely not making things easy as far as grip level. That was just unbelievable. That was like the single most, I don't even know, example of driving skill that we've seen this season. That was just incredible to watch.
Well, the involved parties are currently together in the infield care center, and that is always a fun sign. So we'll go and get to the full finishing rundown here. Schlosser with the win, Kimbrough in second. We will hopefully talk to both of them in just a moment. Derek McManus will finish in third. It is fourth for Nate Siefker and the silver win for him. We'll talk to him, and we'll talk to Rene Garcia, who will finish sixth overall here in a minute as well. Johnny Alford, sandwiched between them, rounds out the top five. Christopher Hill in seventh, Mike Pepper in eighth, Joshua Matacek and Matt Johnston, your top 10. 11th for Brian Deese, it's Andre Saba in 12th, Damian Dania in 13th, Dan Migla and Jarrell Williams round out the top 15. Tough night for Brody Gunzer in the feature. He'll slip all the way down to 16th after some late race problems. Travis Fleming in 17th, it's Joshua Rutherford in 18th, Joshua Muir in 19th, Anthony Wayan will finish in 20th. 21st for Alex Allen, Nick Batiste at 22nd, 23rd for Corey Rutherford. It is 24th for Avery Hart. Then 25th for J.J. Wang, and then I believe DNFs from here on out. Rick Thompson, 26th. Ken Estep at 27th. Rob Henry, 28th. Tyler Smith, Ryan Castleberry, your top 30. Early retirement for Mike Hamlin after he get vaulted into the nether in 31st, and Dave Seats elects not to finish. Or rather, start the second race of the night. So we'll go looking for your runner-up here in the silver division. as I forget how to navigate Discord for some reason. But of course, James with the silver interviews. We're going to hot swap Rene Garcia right into the booth.
Hello, guys.
Renee, a heck of a run out there tonight. What an absolutely chaotic race there. First of all, just take us through the start and all of that from your point of view.
Well, I can't really remember the start for race 2, to be honest. I think I do. I think I made some contact with Alex, pushed him back straight. Somehow they ended up being a 0x. But we got going and Nate's just fast. I had nothing for him. I tried to keep it clean here and there. I had some crazy hairy moments. I tried to undercut him for the pits. Almost worked. But he just had pace. I couldn't keep up. So congrats to him. And I have no idea who won the gold class at the mat. I'm not sure. But congrats to both of them. That's all I had. The first race was crazy. The first start, that was wild.
Yeah, take us through your thoughts and get kind of repackaging the same question, trying to keep yourself safe and avoid all the abject calamity going on around.
Yeah, I mean race 1 was crazy. Made it to the first lap. I got spun out there. I don't know what. To be honest, I don't know what happened. Maybe I turned down on Travis, or maybe the other car on the outside hit me. I have no idea what happened. But race 1 was a disaster. Race 2 was a lot more fun. I tried to keep it clean on the start there. I know I got into Alex. I do apologize for that, but it was just keeping it clean, hitting my marks. I had a 0x. Then I got dirty lap. So then I tried to push it afterwards more because I didn't really care about the exit anymore. But the more I pushed it, the more the car started getting sideways. So I just backed off. I settled for second. I had nothing for P1. So you know what? I'll still take P2. Better than the first race. So why not?
Alrighty, well, phenomenal run. Another podium for you. Any sponsors, plugs, and shout-outs you'd like to give?
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for you guys. Turn 200, ASRL, Team Watson Racing Setups, Eminent Signs Graphics, 420 Motorsports, the gang over there. You know, all the fellas. Appreciate what you guys do. Looking forward to watching the stream tonight. So, thank you guys.
And thank you, Renee, and hopefully we're talking to you again next week.
Sounds good.
So back to the team he goes, and from a team driver to a team owner now, it is Nate Siefker in Booth 200 for the second time this season as a race winner with the ASRL Sports Car Championship, and the fourth time overall in your career. Good stuff here tonight, and we'll let James take it from here, but a way to get it done tonight.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was pretty ho-hum and, not really notable race there for everyone on this track. So, first of all, it was kind of a rough go there in the sprint. You got a little bit of contact and kind of sent almost to the nether regions. So, just take us through your thoughts on that.
I think it was netcode. The start, the sprint was just a mess. Carry damage from there, and then got tapped around, and it was netcode. It probably would have made contact anyway, but it was still netcode. And then spun out, and then I just rode around the back and tried to learn, and that probably didn't do me any justice because I didn't learn the tire enough for the feature. And that's something I'm still learning with how these GT cars is the tires, and track tempo was super hot. It was like 120, 25 or something like that at one point. I looked down and saw. So just could not take care of the tires with keeping the pace in the car. That's why Matt was able to run away from me, and I just couldn't catch it. I put left side tires on even in the pit stop, just could not keep the tire wear, and then I had those two guys that just came from behind me. So it's technically it's a winning, but the rating doesn't align in my eyes with where I think my potential is. So still, I see it as fourth. I get it to win, but I'm thankful that it goes down in the W at least in that column.
Yeah, I called that on the during the broadcast. I'm like, yeah, most would be like, all right, I'm leading my class. I'm just gonna let some of these other gold class guys go by me and hold on to the win. But I'm like, yeah, Nate's absolutely not like that. He doesn't care about the class. He's looking at the overall, and overall, it still was a fantastic run, and you had an amazing start because you weren't up there because of really a poor run in the sprint. You still started a little bit far back. You still had to make up some spots. So take us through your start and how you were able to accomplish that.
The start of the feature was pretty clean. I think I cast a couple people on the line, not too many. And then I was P4 or 5. I think I was P4 at the end of the first lap. And then I just made a really strong move in T1, just committed to it, executed it. And then I guess some stuff happened behind me, too, unknown to me. So that happened. And I moved forward from there. And then I was just trying to catch Matt. And I had the pace on him at the beginning. So I know that there's pace on the car. It's just my tires suck. My tire wear and knowledge of that. So that's got to be something we go to the lab and figure out what needs to happen, because that's just not acceptable being that slow in a sense. I mean, it's not slow. It's just the wear is not where that needs to be at. So plenty of work that needs to be done in the future to get to where I believe I need to be at with the tire wear, so I can be there at the end of these features instead of, putting around on the defense the entire time. So next week hopefully is a little bit better with the Nürburgring. You're not hopefully the little bit better tire temps with the weather that we're gonna have, just stuff like that.
Yeah, and hopefully start battling not just for silver division wins, but overall wins. But it's still a heck of a run for you tonight. Any sponsors, plugs, and shout outs you like to give?
Yeah, thank you. Of course, be the team owner, Team Watson Racing, all the team guys that are in there. Some of them had a great night, some of them did not. So they know who they are. That had a good night, and those know that they had a terrible night. They know it too. So I'm not going to rub it into them. Thank the league admins for putting us on. Great group of guys. Great group of great league. Got to clean. Everyone has a role to clean it up a little bit. I think that's just the nature of those features. When you got everybody that's running as hard as they can, try to get fast as they can, and going up against slower guys, it makes the racing interesting for sure. But that can get a little messy. Thank you guys for being up at the booth. Appreciate all the hard work you guys do. It's a lot of work, taking time out of your days to do this. Thank all the sponsors of Team Watson Race. I want to thank the Sim Gaming Expo. I want to thank, if you're on the car, thank you, basically.
All right, well, awesome job tonight, Nate, and hopefully we're talking to you again next week.
Awesome. Appreciate you guys.
Boy, Matt Williamson knows how to pick them, that's for sure. We'll move on to your dash winner and your feature runner-up. Man, an electric drive here tonight for Scott Kimbrough, all around in both races. Welcome back to the booth.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Well, we'll just go ahead and rip the Band-Aid off here. It's not much room to operate around this track. Tight quarters racing there, going for the win after driving through the whole field. How do you see the final lap there?
It was it was a little rough, but it's all right. Already had an apology from Matt, so I appreciate that, and we just move on to the next race,
Certainly. It's I think maybe going to be much of the same next week at the Nürburgring, but we'll get to that here in a second. I want to see, I want to hear how this race was from out your windshield. Starting shotgun on this field, 32nd on the grid. You had to get through them all there. I mean, people, exploding, literally vaulting off into nowhere, left, right, and center. How do you keep this car clean?
I just tried to be where spinning cars and smoke were not wherever that meant I needed to be. So I didn't venture off track. I think just one time a little bit to avoid kind of a stack up, but yeah, it's pretty chaotic when you start in the back of the field, especially on a tight track like this. You really have to be patient because a lot of times there's just nowhere to go, and usually if you force the issue, 9 times out of 10 something bad's going to happen to you.
You mentioned going off track. I'm interested to hear as well, some of the nuts and bolts of iRacing as things continue to improve. As things continue to get more realistic for iRacing, they get more difficult, especially at a turn number 2. There was stuff everywhere from where everybody was going off into the sand trap, bringing stuff on. I'm sure there was grass and dirt littered all across the track as well. I mean, how was the track surface after, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 laps into the dash? Because it just kept getting worse from there.
Yeah, it was just the exit of 2 was just covered in gravel the entire race, pretty much. So, I mean, if you went off into the gravel, as long as you kept the car pretty neutral and on the throttle, you could drive through it. And the same, there was plenty of grip on the racing surface. There was just you were just kicking rocks the whole way through. But it really didn't affect it because you go down and then you make that kind of fast right-hander down the hill, and there was plenty of grip by the time you got there, so it really wasn't a factor.
I think we're about a third of the way through this season now. You've won 3 of the 8 races thus far. I think you've only finished off the podium maybe once or twice. How do you feel about the season as a whole thus far, and how do you feel about the rest of the way through?
Well, I'm just looking forward to every week that I get to race. It's a lot of fun. A circumstance like this coming all the way from the back, even though it didn't work out in my favor on the last lap there, like it was really fun to hopefully improve my own racecraft, learn something, and have fun doing it. And I would say I don't know exactly what the point standings look like, but whoever's in second, third, fourth, fifth, I would encourage you guys to keep battling because at some point I'll be dissipating due to work circumstances. I'm gonna miss next week at Nürburgring, and I'll miss way more than the couple of allotted, races that we can skip. So that's just the way it is. It's a very long season, but I'm enjoying it, and I appreciate everything that you guys do for the broadcast and that Corey and the team do for the league.
Well, we'll be looking forward to having you as much as we can here on the track and in the booth. Looking forward to many more trips up to Booth 200 at the end of the night. Electric stuff here tonight. Congrats on the win. Congrats on the plus 30 in the feature as well. I would have never guessed that was on the table here tonight. But we'll get some shout-outs in before we let you go.
This week I'm going to give a shout out to my wonderful wife and my daughter who let me come and play on this little toy thing called my race car every Wednesday night. So I appreciate them very much.
All righty, partner. Go rest up after a very long, trying night here tonight, and we'll hope to talk to you again in a couple weeks.
I appreciate it. Thanks very much. Have a good night.
And now we will move up your green to checkered race leader, Matt Schlosser, who is a victor in the ASRL Sports Car Championship for the 7th time. Of course, that is not the story. Leading every single lap here tonight. First of all, congratulations on the win. Great to get to talk to you again so soon as we talked to you last night at Watkins Glen. But, the talk of the town here after this one is going to be the last lap there and you getting your elbows out for sure.
Yeah, I definitely did. I talked to Scott in the waiting room and I was like, I'm sorry, man. Like I really pushed the envelope about as far as you can push it. I really just wanted to freaking win that race. And in the last lap, I was willing to kind of step a little maybe too far. And, I just didn't want to back down. I didn't give him any room. And I'm glad he didn't crash out. I'm glad he finished second. I told him you should probably knock me off the track a few times when you get a chance, because that that was a little rough, but I mean, I honestly just love this racetrack, and I don't think I've ever won here outside of maybe like rookie stuff in the early days, and I was like, I just am gonna give it everything I've got, and probably was a little too much argy bargy, and hopefully, hopefully it's not too frowned upon, but yeah, it was an awesome race, and Scott's a hell of a driver, and would have had me with one more lap, and would have clearly had me if he had started up front with me. So yeah.
Well, I mean, there's got to be no more. I don't even know what to call it. I guess existential feeling. I would imagine than being the race leader, knowing you've led every single lap, and little by little, through the relative screen, Scott Kimbrough is tracking you down from the 32nd starting position to, I think he had about a 12-second gap when he finally got clear on Nate Siefker there. Through the pit stops, he made up so much time there. Lap traffic all around. I mean, you just got to feel like helpless at that point.
Yeah, I had a bad pit stop. I had damage, and I made the mistake of like sitting there while they fixed it instead of just going when I had enough fuel, which that's on me. And then, probably just didn't get as much speed on pit road as I should have, and the gap was down to like 5 seconds. And yeah, I mean, he's just really good, really fast, and just was closing the gap. And I was like, please let this be the last lap, but when it was like 2 to go, but the timing didn't work out. And yeah, I mean, he charged through the field. I just tried to set sail. Nate was really fast in the beginning, and I thought he was going to get me, and he faded a little. And you're just checking your second place. I was waiting for Kimbrough or Gunter or Hunter Engrav to appear or something, and it was just waiting for those alien guys to get there. But I was able to hang on one way or the other.
So, I mean, last time we really, sat down and talked about this was at the end of 2 seasons ago when you had just made the switch to the GT4 and were picking up checkered flags left and right. You said, well, the GT3 doesn't really suit me. Last season, you had to switch back to the GT3, still ended up hammering out a couple of wins, but now you don't have a choice at all, and you're stuck with the GT3. This is the first time we've gotten to talk to you here this season. Where do we stand now with this Lamborghini parked in Victory Lane?
I mean, the Lamborghini is kind of what has made me enjoy the GT3s. I don't know what it is about it, but there's something that suits me. It feels more suited to the way I drive. It's a little tail happy, which I kind of prefer over a pushy car or over understeer. So it works for some reason, and I feel like I can get speed out of it, whereas the other ones, the Ferrari, I drove the old Ford GT for a while. I know James knows the dangers of that thing. But I like the Lambo, and it's given me kind of a second life with these GT3s. I definitely enjoy it more than I used to.
Well, you are the hot driver on the channel right now, the championship leader on a Tuesday night, race winner here tonight on a Wednesday, and snuck in a podium for good measure on a Thursday night a couple of weeks ago at Lime Rock Park as well. So all things looking up Matt Schlosser here tonight from Victory Lane for, let me correct myself, the 7th time in the ASRL Sports Car Championship. Congratulations, and let's get some shout-outs in as usual.
Yeah, thanks. Shout out to ASRL, Corey and the guys who run the league. It's a really awesome league. They've done a great job getting a big chunk of drivers and making it a really good, awesome place to race. So shout out to them. Shout out to Turn 200. Thanks for the broadcast as always. Shout out to Corey for being my teammate. He's also my teammate, and he had to abort in front of me. I kind of was sending it into a turn, and he was in front of me a lap down, and he did a hell of a job giving me space. So I got to appreciate that from him because he was being really heads up there, and I was kind of not helping him in any way. So I appreciate that. And that's pretty much it.
Alrighty, partner. Awesome stuff here tonight. Go rest up after a chaotic finish to this one. Congrats to the win. We'll hope to talk to you again next week at some point.
All right. Thanks, guys.
And, oops, I almost just moved myself out of the broadcast channel. But Schlosser with the win here tonight. Oh, boy. That one is going to go down in the books as one of the best finishes we've had in the ASRL Sports Car Championship. That was electric stuff here tonight, all through the night at Summit Point.
Yeah, that was incredible. Like, that's exactly what you want to see as a broadcaster and as a race fan, is that watching two guys give it absolutely everything they had to bring home the checker flag. That was a corner where the likelihood of both of them getting through unscathed was very low. But neither of them gave a hoot, and they just kept their foot planted, basically, just powered through, and one fared better than the other, but, we saw them give everything they had to bring this win home. And that just, how does that not put a smile on your face watching this? Like, that's just cool. Like, that has to be a turn 200 top moment for the year, because that was just spectacular.
Boy, I don't know. We are blessed in our final full-time season of broadcasting here on Turn 200, because I don't know how many streams we've left here this season saying, well, we've got a Turn 20 moment of the year lined up and ready to go. And certainly that is definitely the case here tonight. I'm sure you're looking forward to your Chaos brother, Matt Williamson, getting back into the booth next week for the Nürburgring. I'll be listening to the dulcet tones of Mr. Kendrick Lamar. That is where I'll be next Wednesday night. So apologies, but, at some point I got to live my life too. We'll look forward to the Nürburgring next Wednesday night. That'll be very exciting. In the meantime, this is what we got coming up for you. Tomorrow night, it is the regular season finale for the Max V CNC Home Designs Truck Series, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time from Michigan International. That will be a very fun one as well. Monday night, it's the return to the Ghost Squadron form of the Super Series. They will be at Portland for the first time in channel history. 8:45 p.m. Eastern Time for that one. Tuesday night, the Venom Truck Series live from the new Atlanta Motor Speedway. That's the Super Speedway version. And that one is going to be a mess for the second-to-last race of the season. 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time for that one. And that will lead us into ASRL at the Green Hill next Wednesday night, 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time for that one. Thank you to everybody that was hanging out with us here tonight. Shout out to Bailey Marie Miranda-Check. Thank you to Ivan Machado, to Joshua Rutherford, to Don Golden, to Majestic, LLC Insignia, and Ken Estep hopping in here late as well. Appreciate your partner. Hopefully everything is going okay for you. And thank you to everybody else that was watching here tonight, whether you chatted or not. We greatly appreciate it. Thank you to Team Watson Racing Setup Shop. Thank you to Eminent Signs and Graphics, and thank you to Purple Haze Autosport as well, the presenting sponsors of the ASRL Sports Car Championship for this season. That's all we got for you here today. On behalf of everybody with the American Sim Racing League, and on behalf of Mr. James Watson, I'm Tommy Cook saying until we meet again, so long from Summit Point Raceway, where Scott Kimbrough and Matt Schlosser are your Gold Division winners, and it's Anthony Wayand and Nate Seifgert, the winners of the Silver Division here this evening. Have a good night, everybody. This has been a live broadcast on Turn 200. Be sure to hit subscribe and hit the bell to get notified of when we go live next. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you again soon.